Super fly for the Dumbos. Plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean. But the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you said you didn't never. I'm a step, no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. Gamma store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead presses in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a pantyhose.
Go over here and empty your pockets. I don't do that. In my prison, you do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get nasty.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
380.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Green 80.
The first carry down for Rex Burkhead. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Bortles to the former Jet, Seferian-Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. A strong safety, Barry Church, all over that one and knocked it away.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup. They get 8, but it's 3rd down now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Green 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cole. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first.
Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Going for it all. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
36. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And some room to roam now. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 38 yards on the scamper there.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Detroit!
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's a give to Mixon. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went. No adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Bortles. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here we go. Check. 380.
From midfield, here's Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. 1 quarter down, 7-3 the score. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And they wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Green 80. Green 80.
Fournette on the counter. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. Check. Green 80.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Safarian Jenkins has it. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Tavecchio puts this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
On second down, here's Mixon. Room here to run. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Mayfield down. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Mayfield. That's complete. It's Gordon. And a broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
Mayfield, that's Njoku over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll give it to him up the middle. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. Tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. But I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Detroit!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and we are even at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup after the penalty. 12 yards, and it's second down.
Detroit!
Second down, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now Leonard Fournette. And shutting him off. Now open field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 31 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Green 80.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On second down, here's Bortles. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Sheds off the tackle, and that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Here's Bortles to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Seferian-Jenkins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jaguars have moved out in front.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Mayfield. And this is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Throwing, Mayfield. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They go play action. Mayfield under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Gone!
To throw, Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left. He rifles one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
380.
A final shot before half for Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin with as good a rivalry as there's been the last decade or so. Baltimore playing host to their AFC North rivals, Pittsburgh. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. Ben Roethlisberger at it again. 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Sam Bradford lighting it up with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they lead the visiting Minnesota Vikings at halftime. Jamison Crowder already up near 100 yards receiving with a full half still to go. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here at half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Fighting him off. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. And they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. And this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, that's just not fair. And now room to run. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. All right, Austin Seferian-Jenkins trotting back onto the field with the rest of his offense. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to drop coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him? But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Again, it's Fournette. And now running right through him. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 at a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
Fournette, a first down carry. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Hand off to Fournette. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Green 80. Green 80.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the ref makes a call. No touchdown there. Wipe it off the board. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. Mayfield on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
4th down, Mayfield. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Shreds the tackle. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. The open man is Westbrook. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And that is incomplete here.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
380.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
380.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Blake Bortles. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fielded about a yard deep. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Mixon, and unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. Mayfield to throw it this time. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. A second down throw for Mayfield. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
No, Jack, Patriot!
Mayfield now from the 50. He's going to air one out. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Detroit!
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
A handoff to Mixon, and he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. It's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. The Browns on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
That's it, baby.
Bortles to throw on second down. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Green 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A first down throw for Mayfield. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And the pitch goes to Mixon. And a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down, Mayfield. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Detroit!
From the gun, Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shot.
And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Larry Ogunjobi with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go. Hey, that's it. 380.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
380.
Bortles now to throw. Runs through the contact. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
380.
Now Bortles again. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
380.
On the run, it's Fournette. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
380.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. On 3rd down, Fournette. And some room to work. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And this is a spot where you can learn a lot about a young quarterback.
And that's why they brought him into the organization, because you don't just bring them in strictly for their talent. You think that they have that something special in them that will allow them to function in these types of situations. Now it's time for them to be clinical and not emotional. You know your play sequence. You know what has to get done. Get the ball to the right people, get out of bounds, and get it downfield and try and score.
And he's trying to earn his stripes here for a winning drive.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Jacksonville, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.